Learning relies heavily on the learner's motivation. If a learner switches off and refuses to engage, then no matter how much effort a teacher puts in, learning will not take place. Thus, cultivating learners' own motivation to learn is the key to achieving learning effectiveness. Most of the time, our motivation comes from either pressure or pleasure. Pressure arises when there is a need to learn. For example, if you tell your students, "Hey everyone, listen up! What I'm about to teach you will likely appear on the next exam," then immediately your students will pay attention. Why? Because if they don't, they risk performing poorly on the exam. So pressure is one way to trigger motivation. Now, apart from pressure, pleasure can also trigger motivation. And one way to induce pleasure in learning is by using humor. Over the past few decades, humor has been widely studied as a pedagogical tool. Humor per se is not an essential component of teaching and learning. You don't need to be funny to teach. However, when used appropriately, humor is a very powerful tool to leverage teaching and learning effectiveness. Past studies have shown that humor can boost students' engagement, stimulate creativity, improve attention and attendance, and relieve stress. In fact, it may even enhance memory retention. Classical cognitivism learning theory suggests that learning occurs when new information integrates with existing knowledge. This process allows the learner to internalize and make sense of the new information, and it leads to the formation of a mental map in the brain. Thanks to advances in neuroscience, we now know that this mental map is actually a neural network made up of brain cells connecting with one another. Research has shown that the joy we experience from humor can trigger the release of chemicals in the brain, such as serotonin and dopamine. These chemicals can help the brain to form and strengthen new connections. In other words, when we learn something new while experiencing something humorous, it facilitates the formation of a triangular neural network among the existing knowledge, the new information, and the humor. Once these connections are formed, recalling any one of the three components will likely lead to recalling of the other two. This reinforces the connections within this neural network and enhances memory retention of the learner. For example, ions are charge-carrying atoms or molecules. This could be the existing knowledge that you already know. Now I want to teach you that cations are positively charged and anions are negatively charged. This is the new information. I might say, cations are positive because cats generally make people feel happy. In contrast, anions, which sound like onions, are negative because onions make people cry. So the next time you eat onions, you will remember that anions are negative. And the next time you see a lovely cat, you will remember that cations are positive. This is how we remember things. By associating things with humor, we can create more memory cues, making it easier for us to retrieve information from our brain. In summary, humor can enhance learning by cultivating learners' own motivation and by strengthening memory retention. Using humor, we can develop more effective teaching approaches to better shape our educational practices. If you are interested in using humor as a pedagogical approach, join our community of practice today and explore the resources available from our websites. Together, we can create a more engaging and enjoyable learning experience for everyone.